Alright YouTube, so I'm here making another video on pretty much aftermarket parts in general. This isn't really directed for this bypass valve or blow-off valve or whatever you want to call it in your terms, but I'm using this Forge bypass valve or blow-off valve for an example of what you should be looking for when you purchase something used, because I bought this from a different person, and basically it's got a few things that needs to be taken care of or looked into a little further into. When I bought this blow-off valve, it came pretty much complete aside from like one bracket that's supposed to come and attached to this right here, to the solenoid. But aside from that, it's really just to hold the solenoid in place, which can really be put on with a zip tie or whatever if you want to order the brackets, whatever. But overall, like stuff like this, even exhausts in general, they're made to basically be rebuilt or reutilized over and over from different vehicles. Or I should say specific vehicles that are gonna continue to last. But there's still maintenance things on everything. Like, hoses are definitely gonna go bad. O-rings are definitely gonna go bad. I doubt the solenoid would go bad, but certain things might go bad that you might have to replace and actually maintain throughout the aftermarket parts life. So if you're purchasing stuff like this used, then you're gonna want to make sure that you inspect all of that when you're purchasing it, especially if it's from a car that's had several thousand miles of use, or the part has had several thousand miles of use. Just kind of go over everything quite meticulously. One of the things that was bad on this thing is inside the diaphragm itself. Let me see if I can pull this off. It has a spring. Okay, these are typically with any bypass valve or blow-off valve or valves in general. It has a spring, okay, and this is kind of what red flagged me when I first bought it. But the spring isn't the normal spring. This is an actual spring that you can purchase that's stiffer than the factory one. And the way I knew is because it was blue on top. If you can kind of see it's blue on top right there. And the original one from the picture I saw, based on their website, it's chrome or aluminum, so it looked different, and I already knew that it came with additional spring. So when I asked him for the other spring, he said, well, I had thrown it out, I just used this one. And so I was like, okay, I guess I gotta buy that additional spring if I'm going to use the factory one, because this one may or may not end up working for my application due to my car's more towards the stock, or so far it's stock compared to what he may have been running. Also, if you look right here, this O-ring is actually cracked in half. So that's an O-ring that needs to be replaced before I actually install this used part, because it's going to leak. And the one thing you don't want to do is buy a part that's going to leak on you, even if it's really easy to install. But if it's very hard to get to, or it's a part that's very difficult to install, you don't want to get into it, and then you're going to be screwed. So just break apart the entire thing. There's several instructions when you purchase the product. You can actually go on most of their websites and figure out like how to disassemble it, and break it into pieces, so that way what's good and what's not. Also lubrication and several other factors that can be built into this small little part. I cleaned it all out because he had tons of grease all over inside that he did himself, so I cleaned it all out. I used the O-rings that he has for time being, but I ordered basically the rebuild kit for this. It was about $17. I saved myself almost $120 after inspecting it, because I told him, hey, this is what I need to do. I need to buy the rebuild kit. It's not a brand new It's not a brand new blow-off valve or bypass valve or whatever. So I need to buy that part in order for me to possibly use it, because otherwise it's gonna leak. So overall, the entire story of this is inspect your parts, make sure that everything comes with it. If you're missing pieces of the part, outweigh the cost of what it's gonna overall cost you to end up utilizing the part, and then kind of go from there. Also, later on, think about like, okay, you're missing some parts. Is this gonna sell for me later on if I decide I don't like it? You want to make sure you at least get most of your money back, or if not all, because the idea of purchasing this used part was essentially to save you money in the first place from buying it brand new. If you're the type of individual that has to have, everything brand new, then, you're going to be forking out the big money, obviously. But, that's just, this blow-off valve individually. This one's for an MK7, 2015 GTI. And that's breaking down the forge valve. I'll be giving a review on this exact blow-off valve or bypass valve once it's installed, and also doing a tutorial, even though there's a couple of them up, but I might make a quick tutorial with the review built in with this one. And if you have any questions, just put something in the comment and I'll try to answer it. I'm going to try to start making more of these videos, because it seems like people don't really know exactly what they're purchasing sometimes, and maybe this might help someone get through those difficult times, especially if you're purchasing it from someone out of state, and you want to make sure you get enough information from the product that you're buying. You also want to make sure that you get pictures, and if they're not providing that, then don't even make the attempt to purchase it from them, because you're most likely setting yourself up for getting screwed, pretty much. So I hope this helps, and I hope it's some good advice for some of those that are purchasing stuff through eBay or Craigslist, or even through the forums, and hopefully I can get some subscribers, and I'll go ahead and start posting up some of the stuff that we're doing to this Viper. Also, the GTI that I'm working on right now, and stay tuned.